friends, and welcome to Pod Return to the Waking Sands. We are a Final Fantasy XIV companion podcast where we explore the lore and story of Hydaelyn and beyond. My name is Jen, and I'm joined by my co-host and researcher.
I'm Levi.
Hello, Levi.
Hello, Jen. How are you today?
Emotional.
Yes, it's a sad day.
Yeah.
We are fresh from doing the vault, and now we're here to talk about the vault.
To immediately rip open these wounds.
Let's just get it all out right now.
Yeah.
Don't give them time to heal. Jen, how did we get here?
Well, last time we... was that all the same shit? So we went to the broom to look around for the so-called leader of the resistance, the revolutionaries, whatever. And eventually she found us. Hilda is her name. Half Huron, half Elysian.
AKA the Mongrel.
The Mongrel. And she agrees to help us with the storming of the vault. But just as we're about to kind of like start plotting stuff, Sherry Bear of the Heavensward storms in and is like busted. And then we fight. And we subdue him, but he escapes all flippity-floppity. These flippy-floppies. And then Lucia shows up and she's like, yeah, Sir Emmerich was actually put in jail. So it's real. Now we have to actually like do this thing. The cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
So we are now
we're doing it.
Ready to go.
Thank you, Jen.
Yeah.
We return to our huddle outside of the Forgotten Night. We have Lucia, Horchifon, Alphino, Tataru, Hilda, and her two flunkies.
Stinky and Burglary?
Yes, that's them. Hilda responds to our request to aid in attacking the vault. We're like, Hilda, you've done crimes against the state before. What's one more? Well, she says, we've been working in secret to undermine the Holy See and the high houses. That's true. But this nonsense about us throwing wide the gates for the heretics is just that. Nonsense. Then who did it, we wonder? The Temple Knights, of course, and or the Heavensward. It was an inside job. She thinks this was to give them an excuse to crack down on the Broom residents while they're in there trying to fight off the heretics. But we know, due to our backroom cutscene omniscience, that there is some Ascian plotting and higher schemes involved beyond just trying to bully the people in the lower portions of Ishgard. So it can be both, and it probably is both, but our characters don't yet know of the broader scheme. Lady Iceheart convinced the heretics to retreat, thus foiling the plot. There is not as much chaos nor as much death as the Heavensward had hoped. Now we're on to our vault assault, though. So what is our plan?
Yeah, well, Lucia has an issue, and that is, to give us the best possible chance of success on this mission, we need to distract the four high houses and their knights to get them out of the city, away from the vault, away from harm. So if we capitalize on the recent incursion of heretics by spreading a false report of heretics amassing for another assault, the high houses would not be able to ignore it. And Hilda confirms that she has contacts within the high houses, as Lucia suspected. But while that's something she could orchestrate, she can't control how long they are kept out of the city. So once they figure out there's no real threat, they're going to come right back. So the window of opportunity we have is small. So it's time to hold the Archbishop to account and rescue our friend. There's no time to lose. So Lucia explains the plan. There will be two parties, one to infiltrate the underground jail to free Sir Emmerich, and one to enter the vault above and to draw the Heavensward from the jail.
Jen, who came with us on this minimum item level run?
We were joined by Graham Stone as Dark Knight, aka Turnt, and Netheria Vetros as Scholar? No, Astrologian. Fucking Christ. I saw the symbol and I'm like, it's cards. It is cards. It's Astrologian. I don't know why I thought Scholar.
Yes.
Anyway, so Astrologian, Dark Knight, and Levi and I were Dragoons.
Yeah, we were.
So, good shit. Very faithful.
Very faithful
Very
to
faithful.
the setting.
Yeah.
No machinist, though.
No machinist. I don't think, we'd have to do like a rock, paper, scissors to see who would not be going as Dragoon. And I was like, fuck it. No, we're all Dragoons here.
No, I think that thematically machinist makes more sense for the vault, honestly.
I think that was going to be Hilda's stand-in for the person to be machinist.
Well, no, I'll talk about that in a second. But I think that because as far as we know, we're done fighting dragons. We're now fighting Ishgardians. It would have been a better call for one of us to go as machinist to have a proper light party.
Yeah, to usher in the new era of Ishgard.
Yes, exactly. But no, Jin, Hilda does not join us in the NPC team.
No.
In the team, there is Horchafons, the tank, and then Alphino is the healer, and then a random temple knight loyalist to Emmerich is the DPS.
Cool.
Hilda is on the
jail team, or
jail
just
team. I'm assuming on the jail team or in the... Actually, no, because
she's at the control
room. We don't see her in the final cutscene, so I'm guessing she's on the distraction team that we don't see in the actual operation.
Sure.
She's luring away the knights from the city.
She's doing important shit.
Very important shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, we enter the vault with our team. This just, on brand for min eye level. In general, it was much easier in Heavensward than it has been in A Realm Reborn because the item gap is less jank than it used to be. But during some fights, the last one especially, we really felt that min eye level debuff, which was great. More on that later. As we enter, the camera sweeps through the vault, revealing an enormous cathedral with rows upon rows of pews, separated by ornate metal gates. The interior is cast in a golden light, filtered in through orange-yellow windows. We fight our way through several groups of temple knights until we reach the fore of the cathedral, where Sir Adelphel Brightblade waits for us upon a raised platform.
It's Adelphel?
Yes.
Adelphel?
Okay. Sir Adelphel.
Adelphel?
All right.
Adelphel?
That was my first guess.
So awkward.
Gonna go with that one because it was easiest for me.
Adelphel sounds good.
All right. Well, we start the fight against him and a handful of ads. They go down, no problem, and Adelphel seems like a chump. But wait, when he's low on health, he transforms. Swelling in size, he towers over us and fights with new powers. We've had hints about this ability before. During some cutscenes with the Heavensward, they shift and speak in deep, booming voices that we now know are associated with these powered-up forms. But I don't think our characters have yet encountered the hulked-out Heavensward yet. Until now.
No, we've only heard the voice in a cutscene.
Yep. In a player-facing cutscene, not a character-facing cutscene.
Yeah.
Post-transformation, he is more difficult, but not by much. It was still pretty easy.
Yeah, he ran around, laid some eggs.
Yes, he did. Runs around, lays eggs, dies.
Your mom? No, that's terrible.
Wow. That is Dorkjin.
Doesn't it really make any sense?
Anyway, so the main mechanic of this phase 2 of the fight is that he will, as Jen mentioned, he will charge around and leave these energy orbs, which will explode after a short time. If your party is inclined to group up to hide from the orbs, watch out because one of the characters will get a point-blank AoE on them, rather like a tracking AoE. So you have to spread from the person so marked to not get got by that effect.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, pretty basic.
Yeah. Yep.
We defeat him, and after he pouts, he shrinks down to normal size and teleports out.
Yep. They're gonna retreat to the inner sanctum.
We now climb to the upper levels of the vault and fight through more guardians. and we get a mini-boss fight outside of the cathedral lift. 2 big suits of animated armor called the Face of the Hero hop out of their alcoves and attack us. No real mechanics here, just cool enemies. And we take the lift to the inner sanctum. This place has open-air corridors running alongside a rooftop garden. And no matter what time it is in-game, you get an atmospheric sunset ambiance here.
Yeah.
We soon run into 2 more animated guardians, the White Knight and the Black Knight, essentially robot chess pieces.
Very cool.
Yep.
Vaguely creepy.
We defeat them and reach the second boss, Sir Grinno the Bull.
The Bull.
We already fought this.
Ralbon already has that as a moniker.
He's the Bull of Alamigo.
There's only one bull. Okay.
Ever. There's also like the brass bull Jin we met during Blacksmith, so watch out.
Who was that? Oh, that was like the OG from 1.0.
Yeah.
That reference guy. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Sorry, Jin, but that name is taken. Ralbon, move over.
Okay, so Ralbon stole it first. And then Granos stole it third time. What a chump.
There can only be one.
Yeah.
Highlander
there's
title.
Plenty of other beasts you can name yourself after.
Yeah, like the ox.
Sure.
The cow.
The angry sheep.
The yak.
The ram.
Look at that. Get more ideas,
the
guys.
mud puppy.
We already have mud puppies, Jen.
Yeah, also, bulls exist. What's your point?
Do they? Do we see a bull in Final Fantasy, Jen?
Maybe.
Jin's mind got blown. I think in like the generic sense, we do see bulls as in like a male of a species. Because not just cows are called bulls, you know? Not just male cows are called bulls.
Oh,
IRL.
sure. Yeah, you've got like the big bull mammoth guys.
Yeah. But I don't know if we see like an actual cow-ass cow in 14 that I can think of offhand.
Oh,
Maybe in later
that's
content,
weird.
there is like a pasture or something. I don't recall immediately. Irrelevant. We're fighting Sir Grinno
No, it's
the
very,
bull.
very relevant. I can't move on.
We already fought Sir Grinno in single combat, so we expect this fight to be easy, and it is until he too hulks out.
I have the power!
This guy is a lot scarier than Adelphel. He uses big, flashy, dark-looking mechanics. This fight's pretty much all about area denial. He will do these giant AoEs on the ground that take up most of the arena, and also he will leave damage puddles around there. The main mechanic, though, is that he will do these 2 successive line slashes targeting players, and when they hit, they will hit the arena wall, they will leave damage puddles behind. And these damage puddles, if you get close to them, they will tether you and get you. And right after he makes these damage puddles, he will do a knockback. So you want to make sure to not get knocked back into or around those puddles. That's
Cool.
the main deal. Do that, dodge the stuff, you're good to go. And like before, Sir Grinno teleports out when we beat him. And we press on until we reach another lift, which takes us to the very top of the vault.
I think this is when we started singing Four Non-Blondes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hereabouts. Well, it got going beforehand, but this is when you really kind of leaned into it.
Yeah, there was we did a karaoke, all of us, well, except for Levi, of course.
I'm too cool for that nonsense.
All kind of sang a couple lines in sequence. It's also impressive how that fucking song sticks in your head, and everybody knew it.
As popularized by the He-Man meme.
That's what started it. Yeah, because Nath made a joke about, she was giving Grinno the business, what does Skeletor say?
Yeah.
Or something like that. She made a Skeletor joke, and then she's like, "What show is that from?" "Oh right, He-Man." And then I was like, "Oh yeah." And so that was that. The whole rest of the thing, singing that song.
Really underlining the importance of this dungeon and the story beats within.
You know, sometimes you just need a break from the emotional weight.
So we're on the rooftop now. We've taken another lift and we head to a spire, and inside it there is a single priest who we beat without a problem. But before he perishes, he summons a group of glowing light gargoyles. And Jin, these are not void sent gargoyles though. Quote from the Encyclopedia Eorzea. One of the Holy See of Ishgard's first forays into vivimancy, as in the animation of inanimate objects, Jen.
Ah, yes.
Church theomancers imbued grotesque stone statues with simple magics that animated the gargoyle-like creatures so that they might be used as guardians of important religious sites and constructs. It is believed that the theomancers based the statue's design off the harrowing void scent so as to instill fear in all who would lay eyes upon them. Those dicks.
Isn't that some of the shit they employed in Amdapor?
Yes and no, as in Amdapor was far more skilled at this art than Ishgard, who have just, quote, made their first forays, but I mean, in a zoomed out sense, yes. We do know that Amdapor had many animated statues.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. And that is in the realm of apparently light magic.
Right, because they got, like, blighted by the light?
Yes, they did. Good job, Jen.
Blinded by the light, revved up like a douche, another runner in the night.
Excellent. This is the karaoke episode, apparently.
Yeah, well, after we got done with Four Non, well, we never got done with What's Up by Four Non Blondes. Nath came out with some like Offspring. I was like, this is the millennial run.
So after we fight those gargoyles, we reach the end. Upon a circular platform on the rooftop, Sir Sherry Bear is once again waiting to face us down. And he wastes no time in hulking himself out. He's like, screw this small body nonsense. I'm going to get big.
Mm-hmm.
And he does, and we fight.
Mm-hmm.
And like many final bosses, he has the most mechanics. One of them is a tether between players that looks like a chain.
Yep.
Jen, when you see a chain, you typically want to break that chain.
Correct.
Which means the players will run away from each other.
Correct.
And if you don't, you will start taking some severe damage over time. So
yeah.
Do break the chain.
We did.
Always break the chain.
On break the chain.
Thank you. Appreciate that. He also He also summons rows of chess piece knight automatons that will tromp across the arena. You want to look where they're going to go and not be in the way. But later on in the fight, he will overlay like these chess piece marches with hella AoEs on the ground. It gets to be very hard to dodge the AoEs, dodge the other mechanics, and also dodge the knights, especially if you're trying to melee him or something. So
who was doing that?
Who
was mailing him?
Who?
I remember the first time doing this fight. I remember having difficulty with this fight.
Well, we did on our fight too.
Yes, and I quote, "We all died, but we didn't wipe."
Correct and correct. Solve that logic puzzle.
But yeah, this was I had a lot of difficulty the first time I ran this because some new mechanics here, and it's just like a lot of shit piled on top. So the chain thing, I remember gave me some issues. Yeah, I remember this being hard for me.
Yeah. On minimum item level, especially like all of the raid-wide damage plus mechanics plus just like the auto attack damage.
Oh yeah, you're running around like you're in panic mode.
Yep. So our tank went down due to like a big chunky tank buster or something that happened. I'm not quite sure what, but he got chunked down. There
were some dots that would happen to us.
That would happen.
It would just happen to us. It was a lot.
So after that, both you and I tanked briefly, Jen, and we did not last long tanking. But in the time we kept alive, it let Nath raise Graham again. So they were back in action. Tank and healer can go for quite a ways, just the two of them. So that let them stabilize, then res us DPS. At the very last moment, Nath went down to some mechanic, but we could just DPS the boss down in time. But it was very close. Like we were dying again at the end, and we had an LB2, which is unusual for a dungeon to get to an LB2. But like when the boss was down to maybe 5%, I saw the LB2 ready. I was like, all right, we got to finish this. I ran up there, hit the LB2, and it finished off the boss, and that was a clear. And once defeated, as do his fellows, Sharabear shrinks down and collapses. Final note for the mechanics, there is a DPS check midway through the fight. It's like a ring of flames appear and you kill the flames. It's not hard. It's like a break, honestly, compared to everything else.
Wow.
Just like, take a break to do some DPS before you go back to the overlapping AoEs nonstop. Anyway, Jen, we defeat Sharabear and we glory in our victory.
We
see an airship flying overhead.
Spoilers.
And it's not the Enterprise. It's not like, oh shit, we're saved.
At first, I didn't remember. So I look up. I'm like, is that the fucking Enterprise? Is this Sid swooping in again?
I had the same reaction because
11th?
they pulled that fucking shit at the very beginning of the expansion. Like, out of nowhere, Sid's here to help.
Yeah, hey, look at Sid. He's
so
gonna
I was
save your
like,
ass.
okay, so this must be our evac, but no, it is a bad vac. A DVAC.
Yep.
That's not how it works, I know.
The DVAC. Instead of a D-bag, it's a DVAC.
Sure, yes.
It's a vac for a bunch of Ds.
Exactly.
There you go. But yeah, thanks again to our pals who ran this. I mean, a success, Nath and Turnt. Turnt had like 3 names. Well, it's Grahamstone's character's name, and then Turnt is like his name in Discord. His name was Trent, and I think his brother's name was like Brent or something. So they called each other Turnt and Bert, which I thought was great. But we're just going to call him the Milkman going forward. Just, you can ask him about it. So, okay. All right. We have humbled Sherry Bear yet again. And again, he retreats. And an airship flies overhead and docks at the landing to receive the Archbishop and take him somewhere.
They say where?
Later.
Oh my goodness.
Fucking God. So Orchefant, Alphino, and I, we rush the doors. Lucia and Estinian have arrived with Sir Emmerich, and Sir Emmerich limps forward. He's holding his arm. Clearly he's been tortured. And beseeches his father desperately to reconsider.
Why must you do this, father? Nidhogg is fallen. There is no need for further deception. Now is the time to renounce the lies which led us down this path. To start anew!
And tear down the very pillars of our society? Our history, our values, everything we have built over 1,000 years? A fool to the last.
So the Archbishop goes to step on the airship, but we cannot let him escape. We are so close. So Orchefant and I, we share a knowing look, and we charge the airship. The two of us are closing the distance, and a dark figure appears on a spire above us. They gaze down at us, advancing on the Archbishop, and they summon a bright ball of energy that forms a massive magic spear. And they take aim for us as we're running across and launch it. Orchefant, he senses the danger, and in a split second runs to us and spins around, shield at the ready. And the shield takes the initial hit, and the force of the spear is fighting desperately to penetrate, but his shield holds. And Orchefant grits his teeth, bringing all of his strength to bear. But the spear at last pierces his shield, running him through. And the Archbishop never turns his head again to look back, simply instructing the pilot to go. Azizla awaits. Then the mysterious knight in the dark armor who summoned the spear returns to his original form and leaps onto the escaping airship. Turns out this is Zephyrin. And this is like the Archbishop's right-hand man. So the airship leaves. It's gone. And all of us rush to Orchefant's side. Alphina begins to render aid immediately, but the healing attempts can't contend with the seriousness of Orchefant's wound.
It's no good. The wound is too deep. It refuses to mend. You are unharmed. Forgive me. I could not bear the thought
have. Oh, do not look at me so. A smile better suits a hero.
And Orshifant passes away. He has, at great cost, achieved a knight's true calling. He's laid down his life to save another's. And this is the only solace in this moment. And then we head to Fortemps Manor to meet up with everybody. We don't know who, but somebody has already told the family about Orshifant's passing. And when we walk up to Count Edmont to say what? I don't know. But he stops us before we can.
Don't. Please. A knight lives to serve, to protect, to sacrifice. There is no greater calling. Leave me to mourn and give chase, for my son and for the nation he loved. Go!
We excuse ourselves from the parlor and regroup with Alphino outside. He asserts our conviction to honor Orshifant's sacrifice so that we might face our troubles with courage, with conviction, so that we might face them as knights. And that's where we leave off for now.
Ugh. Brutal. Devastating. Ugh. The first time I saw the cutscene, I'm pretty sure I gasped. Just like that sharp intake of breath, which isn't, I guess a gasp is an exhalation, but the sharp intake of breath, I couldn't believe it. Because this game really, you're lulled into this sense that no one really is ever going to die for reals, for really reals. Especially a character that has followed us for so long. Obviously, Moonbrita is a whole thing, and we talked about how it was interesting how that death struck us. It hit us so strongly, despite us having just met her. We didn't work with her hardly at all, but we had filled in this whole future with her as present, and so that was ripped away from us prematurely. It was so that was that was a little bit different. Whereas with Orshifant, he's like a fixture in our life at this point. So because of the way 14 kind of is with longer term characters, I assumed that he'd always be around. He's over the hump. We knew him for long enough that the game wasn't going to fuck with us in that way.
Yeah.
But the game did.
You're correct. Everything you said is correct, Jen. And I think that is what makes this a good plot beat overall. It's the world and story lose a feeling of realism if we're allowed to do these daring, transgressive acts without paying a price.
Yeah.
And if we can just do whatever we want to, if we can assault the inner sanctum of the leadership of Ishgard and we're all walking away fine, it does not feel like we have really pushed our bounds or anything. It feels like we are able to exert our power anywhere at any time without any consequence.
You never go into these things thinking that there are actual stakes, but
sure.
Yeah, there were stakes.
I think that reminders of that are good to make these have the tension and anticipation that you would hopefully feel upon taking on such a great action, not just here, but anywhere else where we're really kind of pushing ourselves into the enemy's domain or seat of power or whatever. And having the question of, will we all come back from this? This is a good narrative tension to have. And the fact that Orshifant, especially, he was not at the end of his arc. He was not somewhere in a personal story where all his loose ends were closed and he's at peace with whatever. it was a random, senseless death, which is good narratively because this is shocking and a loss versus something that you see coming and are like, all right, well, here we go.
Yeah,
you know?
like we there was no opportunity for us to make peace with anything.
Yeah.
It happened so fast.
What you said especially is, I think, important for his arc as it is now, with him being with us since mid last expansion. We met him somewhere like level 30 to 40 range, way back in Kurthus Wester Highlands.
He was our first ally in Ishgard.
And this is no like, oh hey, nice to meet you. I sure love life. JK, 2 hours later, I'm dead type character.
Right.
Which
a lot of those.
The build up and the sense of comfort is, I think, essential to the way that this plays out and the significance of this event.
Mm-hmm.
My final comment on the emotional beats here, Jen. I really appreciate Count Edmont's reaction, especially because, one, he underlines the dissonance between societal values and Ishgard's, frankly, glorification of death.
Yeah.
Contrasting that and the sentiment that knights are supposed to, die in service to their country or to their fellow man or whatever, with the personal loss. And he really sells this well. He's fighting this battle right now in that moment. Honestly, for me, Haurchefant's death hits me more in the scene at Fortemps Manor versus in the actual moment.
Oh, God.
Because you're seeing it reflected in a character's eyes versus, I guess the shock of it in the moment, where it does feel a bit less real, at least to me, because it's so sudden and you're still not quite sure what all just happened there.
Right.
So that's all I have to say on the emotional beats, Jen. As a point of order, though, the portion where Alphinaud attempts to heal Haurchefant was added in a later patch.
I feel like I remember that from the first time, but apparently not. I know Alphinaud obviously was there.
Yes.
But I don't know if he was.
It was relatively recent in the game's lifetime, so I believe we did this before this was patched in, if I'm recalling correctly.
Is it because, he wasn't technically a healer then?
No, I think it's more to kind of prevent the critics from going in saying, Alphinaud could have healed him. Why didn't you heal him, Alphinaud?
Also, I mean, yeah, it could go either way. Obviously, he's gonna try his best. But was the initial one basically like he assessed it and knew that it was hopeless, kind of a thing?
The initial scene had nothing there, period. So Haurchefant gets pierced by the spear, and then we run over to mourn him pretty much as he fades away.
Oh shit!
There's no attempt to save him, but I think in this moment the attempt to heal is very natural, and ignoring supernatural gifts for the sake of drama is typically, it causes dissonance.
Yep.
So it's a good kind of box to check in this moment
also,
to show.
It totally makes sense that it's something Alphinaud would default to.
Well, also, though, if the player's playing a healer, we're like, hey, why couldn't I heal him? And the answer is that this is too big a wound to heal. In the fiction of the world, there's a limit to what healing spells can do, and you can't actually bring the dead back. When you raise someone, they're unconscious. They're not dead.
Right.
Which we call people dead all the time because it's shorthand and it looks like they're dead. But
my HP is gone. I don't know what else that could mean.
Nobody who's actually down on the ground who has fallen off a ship miles below is dead. They're just sleeping briefly until we raise them.
Correct.
Speaking of an upcoming Alliance raid, which we'll see in a bit.
Yeah.
That's all. Just wanted to make sure that we hit on that point in case people were wondering, hey, what the fuck? Why is Alphinaud healing someone? I don't recall him healing them. I have nothing else on the subject to say at the moment, though there is more discussion to be had on this plot beat in retrospect in light of the game's future storytelling decisions in future expansions. But we're not there yet, so I'll let it lie for now.
Thank you. I know you feel very strongly about it. But we're not there yet, so here we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, any final comments from you, Jen?
Yeah, this sucks. And I'm I had to watch this cutscene and feel all the feelings all over again. And then I had to sit for another 20-25 minutes to write notes about it. And there's just tears streaming down my face and then so I finished writing up that the cutscene immediately after the fight. And then, Levi was like, you gotta do this and then this and this and this and this. And then when I go to talk to the Temple Knight outside of the vault to be like, where did everybody go? And I'm like, bitch, is there another cutscene? Is there another cutscene at House Fortemps or at Fortemps Manor? And Levi was like, yep. I'm like, motherfucker. motherfucker, like, I can't do this. I can't. He's like, it's short. I'm like, okay. And it was, but it was still devastating.
Yeah. Like
and
I
I'm
said,
like,
Edmond hits me harder than Harshiffon, honestly, in terms of my personal feelings. We appreciate the time and effort you put in, Jin.
oh, this wasn't like, pat me on the back.
I know, but either way, Jin would never say pat me on the back for anything, no matter how deserved, but I am doing so voluntarily.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to do it, but I'm not technically happy right now.
Understood.
I am grateful for the fun time we had on the run with our buds.
Yeah.
So,
well, next time we'll be taking a break from the MSQ. Perhaps our Warrior of Light has some demons to work out, and what better opportunity than to take up the mantle of Dark Knight?
it's happening.
It's happening. Like Machinist, this will be a 2-part episode. The first will cover the quest through level 50, and the second will finish up the quest through level 60. So we will see you next time.
And that will do it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for listening. And if you feel like it, find something to smile at to honor our boy. And if you want to get in touch with us, you can at podreturnffxiv@gmail.com. We are on Blue Sky at podreturnffxiv. And check the show notes for our Discord, where you can meet Nath and the Milkman if you were so inclined. You can join us and others for the group runs that go on, share photos of your glams and pets and whatever. People are awesome, so come be awesome with us. And also there are t-shirts now, so there's a link to our TeePublic page with an t-shirt that Levi did the artwork on. It's pretty awesome, so check it out. And last but not least, our Patreon, patreon.com/podreturnffxiv. And for $1 a month, you get access to the seasonal events from 14, the episodes where we talk about the card game, Magic the Gathering, the tabletop RPG, kind of any other peripheral things that come up. And then if you want to bump it up to $2 a month, you get access to our bonus series. And this season, we are playing Final Fantasy VI. Heather, I'm playing it for the very first time and sharing my experience with Levi. And with that...
And everyone.
Well, technically everybody, yes. And with that, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Have a good day or night, and we will see you next time.